One of the things that really affects my ability to do the best job that we can in the DA's office is just competing for money throughout the county. There's a limited amount of money, and we have to go and make our pitch to the Board of Supervisors. So when I took office, I had a $5 million budget reduction to face. What that meant was I needed to cut personnel because that's the majority of our cost. And so because I'm the elected official who has to deal with the amount of money that the board gives me, I get to make the cuts. We have certain mandated services which are to prosecute crimes to appear in court. So I was forced to cut all of, or many of the, what might be termed as non-mandated services. For example, we appear at lifer hearings, and those are hearings where someone who has been convicted of murder or other heinous crime who is serving a life sentence gets a parole hearing. And without our appearing at those hearings, the victim or the victim's family has to go there and face the perpetrator all on his or her own. So that's a very important function. We also used to have 10 to 15 community prosecutors who were lawyers out in the community helping neighborhoods take their neighborhoods back, help people with dealing with blight, with cars on their lawn, code enforcement, and we have no more community prosecutors. We also have had a cold case unit where I had an investigator and a lawyer work on old homicides to see if we could solve them. But again, that's not a real mandated function of prosecuting current crimes appearing in court. Well, when we got to the Board of Supervisors, we had a number of people in our community who believed that those services were so important, they came and made statements to the Board of Supervisors. Ultimately, what I told the board and the county executive was I felt it was my obligation to educate the community about the services that we could no longer offer in the DA's office, and that it was not necessarily a failure on my part to recognize the difficult choices that the board has, but that it's important for the public to know that we will no longer be able to provide these services because of the choices that are made. So if they want the choices to be different, they need to come to the board. They need to write to the Board of Supervisors and tell them, we believe this is a priority. And of course, they're able to do that in any kind of service that the county provides. But I think it's my obligation as the district attorney to tell the public, this is the money that I have, this is how I'm spending it, these are the things we no longer can provide, and if that's important to you, then you need to tell the board because they hold the purse strings and they have to make the difficult choices. Without your voice, they're going to make the decisions either based on their own values or based on other people telling them what they believe is more important.